Hello, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, good morning in the Netherlands, and good afternoon in Indonesia. So, welcome to this session. So, this is the last session of the second day of Winner Conference 2022. This session will be about the contribution of Netherlands alumni to sustainable development goals. The session, in specific, it's about Indonesian-Netherlands research collaboration for sustainable digital economies and societies. How far Indonesian Netherlands alumni diaspora can contribute. The session is a room for Indonesian-Netherlands alumni diaspora for sharing knowledge, best practices, and expertise to support the achievement of sustainable development goals and strengthen collaboration between Indonesia and the Netherlands. We will also explore how to stimulate cooperation between Indonesia and the Netherlands based on different background and expertise of Indonesian Netherlands alumni diaspora on shared issue related to SDGs achievement. By the way, my name is Muhammad Ulil Ahsan. I was a student scholarship awardee and graduated from Wageningen University 3 years ago, and I will be the moderator of this session. Without further ado, I will introduce our wonderful panelists here. They are very experienced and excellent Netherlands alumni who are currently pursuing their careers in the Netherlands, working in different areas, and of course, their works are strongly related to SDGs. The first panelist, I introduce you, Pak Lucky Lumingkewas. He is alumni of ISS Rotterdam. He's currently an Asia Senior Program Manager of Aflatun International. Aflatun International is a non-governmental organization focusing on empowering children and young people about their rights and responsibilities and managing financial resources through social and financial education. And currently, they are implementing its program in more than 100 countries worldwide. So such a big movement. And our second panelist is Ibu Sinar Juliana. Ibu Sinar Juliana was graduated from TU Delft, yeah, in mechatronic engineering. So this is a very cool, I think, subject. And she's currently a secretary of INP Indonesia. INP Indonesia is a platform to facilitate knowledge and expertise exchange of Indonesian intellectuals and professionals in the Netherlands. And our third panelist is Pak Rivo Octaviano. Yeah, Pak Rivo is alumni of Eindhoven University of Technology, or TU Eindhoven, and he is currently a media scientist at TNO, the Netherlands. TNO is an independent research organization based in the Netherlands, focusing on innovative solutions to address societal challenges, include safety and security, health, sustainability, and digital issues. So, well, what a great panelists today we have. And in our discussion, I'll deliver to the speakers some questions related to our theme today. And please feel free to answer it based on your experience and thoughts. And I believe these topics could be discussed, of course, in hours, better with coffee or tea, and yeah, stroke waffle, or sitting in Kibling or Herring shop in Centrum. Feeling nostalgic. But we have limited time, yeah. So please make your answer more specific and short, so that we can give more room for the participant if they have any question or more discussions. So let's get into the discussion. Okay. First questions for issue. First issue. The SDGs have been integrated in every organizational goals, integrated into national development plan, including the organization maybe in your work maybe. Develop either innovative technology or social innovations to achieve SDGs for certain is not as simple as it's jargon, you know. So based on your experience, how do you think Netherlands alumni can contribute to achieve SDGs? But before you answering, maybe you can briefly explain a little bit your current professional activities and what specific innovation or work what you are focusing on. So maybe first response, Pak Lucky, floor is yours.
Ya, thank you so much, Mas Ulil. As already mentioned before, that Aflatun International working in more than 100 countries. So currently, I'm working as senior program manager of Aflatun International. I've been with this organization since 2016. So this is my 6 years. Based in Amsterdam, I live in The Hague. As a senior program manager for Asia, I'm managing project and partners in 15 different countries in Asia, including South Asia and Southeast Asia, from China, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Mongolia, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, including Indonesia. So the organization that I work directly contribute to the SDG number 1 on poverty reduction, to the SDG number 4 on the education, quality education, and SDG number 5 on the gender equality. Looks like that that was like a blank pictures before. I don't know if it's happened only to my laptop. Yeah, but the organization I work, we develop the social and financial education curriculum for children and young people. So this curriculum already translated into 50 different languages around the world, including Indonesia. So Bahasa Indonesia. So we have a curriculum from 3 years old until 24 years old, covering those ages, and already translated into and contextualized into Indonesia language. So yeah, I think that's for the moment, Mas Ulil, the introduction and how my organization contribute to the SDG in Indonesia. We have a direct partnership, direct collaboration with the Indonesia government, which is the Ministry of Education since 2017, ongoing until now.
So thank you. Maybe you can explore a little bit. Yeah. So that's what you mentioned. It's related to SDGs point, and then currently you're working on 3 different sustainable development goals points through Aflatun works. So it's interesting. That's how you're currently contributing. Can you give a bit more specific your how your curriculums being implemented in Indonesia exactly?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we have
especially
a
maybe
global.
in the local context. Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, we have a global level curriculum. It's in English with the context of a European context. But when it's contextualized into Indonesia context, then we need to work together with our stakeholders, the key stakeholders in Indonesia, especially the Ministry of Education, to contextualize the content so that it's adapted and adjusted into Indonesia context. So currently we have the curriculum already, and it integrated into the education system in Indonesia. The curriculum actually is just like a session plan with teachers. So it's a ready use session plan for any teachers in Indonesia if they want to integrate social and financial education for children and young people in Indonesia. So this is a part of also with the big global movement on financial inclusion, which in Indonesia it's primary um, uh, led by the central bank or OJK in Indonesia. So we also work indirectly with the central bank or OJK. Even tomorrow, I will have a meeting with the Curriculum Development Center of Ministry of Education, together with Finance Ministry and together with OJK, I hope, to discuss the curriculum Merdeka, right? So they want to have financial education integrated also with curriculum Merdeka, because financial education now become more important currently in Indonesia especially, where many children and young people, they are still not aware about these important skills, the 21st education skills, how to plan the budget, how to, this is not only a knowledge level, but also this is an attitude behaviors towards money and towards natural resources. In Indonesia, people still neglecting or still forgot to turn off the electricity, to turn off to turn off their stove, for instance. So it's difficult to change their behavior. So the curriculum that we develop, it's integrated not only to target the knowledge level, but also to target the attitude and behavior level. So the children and young people, since their early years, they already have a good attitude, positive attitude towards money and towards the natural resources. So when they are adult, they can manage their money very well, and yeah, they can achieve their dream. Uh, so that's the how the curriculum integrated into the education system in Indonesia. Uh, as already mentioned before, in 2017, we integrated the curriculum with the early childhood education curriculum. It's already integrated in 29 different provinces in Indonesia. So under the Ministry of Education, in 29 different provinces, this curriculum that developed together with our team here in Amsterdam, we help the Ministry of Education, especially the early childhood education curriculum, to teach the train. To train the teachers in 29 different provinces.
Yeah.
And currently, the ongoing project, we want to integrate it into the primary and secondary education. So currently, the pilot project ongoing in West Kalimantan, West Sulawesi, and East Nusa Tenggara. So hopefully this innovation, because this is like an innovation for financial education, we integrate the content, the curriculum with the active learning methods, or or people call it in Indonesia, if for those who are familiar with the active learning method, they called it agile or active, joyful, effective learning. So this is like activity based. So it's not a traditional teaching method, but an activity based with experiential learning method. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Okay. Well, it's very interesting, Pak Luki, how the innovation of like integrating a financial curriculum, and then I just
financial
know that
education. Yeah.
the Ministry Central Bank involved together
Mm,
to develop
mm,
more curriculum on Merdeka Belajar. They
correct.
said the current curriculum. Okay, very interesting. Next, let's hear from Ibu Sinar Juliana. I will repeat the questions. Is how do you think the Netherlands alumni can contribute to achieve SDGs in your point of view? Please, Ibu Sinar.
Thank you. Um, I hope I can be here. I can
Yeah,
be heard. Yes.
yeah, we can see you.
So yes, and seen. Thank you. So happy to be here. So as Pak Luki also already mentioned about his background, I'll also tell something about my background. I'm an alumni of TU Delft. It was already said in the introduction, and I work as mechatronic architects in a company that make products for the semiconductor industry. And in my spare time, I work as a member of the Asosiasi Intellectual and Professional Indonesia (INP). So what I want to tell more about is what INP does, and what it can contribute to the sustainable development goal in Indonesia. So we start INP in 2020, in the mid-time of where the Corona crisis, everybody knows about that. And our vision is to be a platform so that we can exchange knowledge, expertise on professional and academics field from Indonesian alumni in the Netherlands and with the Indonesian community in general, or Indonesian in the Netherlands. So we have done several things to achieve that. And to achieve this, we do collaboration, because it's very important to achieve what we want to do. We connect with the network in the Netherlands. We have academics, and professionals. We have professors in different universities and people who are working in his or her expertise. So we have a different background in the INP. And this, we actually we do brainstorm what we can do and what we can achieve. We also connect to organizations like the KBRI, with Nufik Neso, with ICANET, with Ikatan Alumni, like Ikatan Alumni ITB in the Netherlands and also in Indonesia, to do knowledge exchange. So in this, we actually fulfill the education part of the SDG, also the equality, and we also we also were interested, especially in the energy part of the sustainable development goal. I can give you example what we did last year. We have collaborated with Nufik and with ITB alumni in Indonesia. We make a workshop on technological approach to achieve a sustainable development goal. And it was a big success, because we can combine different organizations and also public from different background in Indonesia, to hear and to discuss about different sustainability energy approach. That was one big event, and it was a success. And we continue to do so, not only in the energy, but also in education. For example, we also organizing and giving our resources to give workshop on research methodology on students in the Netherlands, Indonesian students, master students and PhD students who are currently doing their work in different universities, because we have also professionals and academicians who knows about this and who are willing to share their knowledge in it. So we collaborate with KBRI and with the PPI and with the professors from the universities in the Netherlands, Indonesian professors we have, Professor Bayu, Professor David. Also we have associate professors Frederick and Ajeng Dia. So we actually give a platform to enable this to happen, and this is a good initiative. So what we have, and we are going to continue to do so.
Well, great. Thank you, Ibu Sina. So I think this is really inspiring. When the COVID, you directly create a momentum. So the communication between professionals, alumni, and many stakeholders still keep going, even though in the middle of a restriction of offline meeting. So and then it's keep going, and then I think it's creating enabling environment. So sometimes, and most of the time, great ideas and innovations come from these kind of rooms. So I think that's a great innovation from INP. And then let's move to our third panelist, Pak Rivo. Yeah. So I will again. How do you think the Netherlands alumni can contribute to achieve SDGs in your point of view, Pak Rivo?
Okay. Thank you, Ulil. Thank you for having me today in the winner session. So basically, I would like to repeat again. I graduated from the TU Eindhoven under Master Program System and Control in 2014, and then afterwards, I'm working at TNO. It's a national Dutch research organization for applied science. Yeah, currently I'm working as a research scientist focused on energy transition to accelerate decarbonization to net zero target in 2050. So if we are talking about SDG, it could be take to the SDG number 7, affordable and clean energy. But now I would like to speak on behalf of my experience as an NL alumni. So basically, yeah, in my opinion, NL alumni can play an active role to achieve SDG based on their field expertise. So you can choose either it can be done through an organization or community or where you are belong to, or it can also be done through your workplace. So I will give you two examples from my experience. So the first experience is together with NL alumni. So we are organizing a technology forum between two countries called INTPF. It's an Indonesian, the Netherlands Technology Partnership Forums. So basically, 2 years ago in 2020 or before, our King Willem Alexander has a state visit visiting President Jokowi, and then what we see that there are a lot of focus in the collaboration in the circular economy, but not so much in the energy sector or in the technology, because we are an alumni of the Bandung of Institute Technology in the technology sector. So we would like to become a hub here. So then we invite companies, researchers, government bodies, and public to a forum, and then let the forum becoming a hub of collaboration, learning from experience from the Netherlands, implementing sustainable energy technology to accelerate higher renewable energy mix also can be done in Indonesia, ranging from the topic of solar, wind, hydrogen, up to the carbon tax policy. The second case, you can do it also through your workplace. For example, at TNO. So TNO, since I think 1.5 years ago, in collaborate with the Polytechnic Negeri Bali, are jointly developing a renewable energy training center in Indonesia. So this training center offers a solution to one of the main obstacles today: lack of renewable energy expertise, skills among industry professional and non-engineering stakeholders, including government official, financial sector, and youth. So we can also combine the SGD number 7 here, energy, and also SDG number 4, which is education. So here I already explained you my experience, how NL alumni can contribute either via your organization or via your workplace. At least you can contribute based on your field expertise, because that's the way how you can contribute in the SGD. I think I will stop my answer at the moment, and then waiting for the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Arif. I think this is a really nice, how to say, movements, yeah, from you. So you work based on your expertise and then try to creating a hub, yeah, to open more room for learning between both countries in
Yeah.
Indonesia and Netherlands, especially in energy sectors. I think that rooms need to be strengthened, and then we need to provide more room or hub between both countries to learn each other. So I think this is really interesting. It's just first question, and let's move to the next question. So the next question is, it's inevitable that we are living in digital society. Everyone is connected to anyone and anywhere through internet, social media, and most of our time are spent in digital world. Everyone become an expert, on everything through Google, and there is also a new concept of post truth and many things because of this digital society era. So, to what extent do you think the role of Netherlands alumni to dealing with the effect of digital society? Well, and what are the example of best practices based on your experience, maybe on your organization or yourself, in dealing this era of digital society? Maybe first, Ibu Sinar, please. Your
Thank you, Lee. Yeah, that's
maybe make it
an
short.
interesting question.
So, yeah,
Sorry,
please.
do you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
you
yeah.
can hear clearly.
Yeah, thank you, Lil. And this is a very good question. Of course, it is an opportunity, digital society. I see it as opening a lot of things to to happen, because instead of having to go somewhere to look for someone and talk, you can just, like us now, we are like in the living room together. So so this digitalization has made the world becomes a very small village. And and like you said, Google, of course, it can be the first source of information, right? So if you want to know something, you can just put it in the internet, and you can find the first answer. So as anybody in the world who has access to the internet, also NL alumni, of course, can take advantage of that. And I have given the first example in the beginning, like at INP also make use of those opportunities, and we actually can get a lot of people in a very short time, rather than before the corona time, before the technology has developed so fast. So so what's the action? What is the best practice? So what can everybody do? So I have given the example of INP, but for alumni in general, so I say open your eyes and your ears, and you look for that opportunity, because I think we see a lot of opportunities happening. Look at what happened in Indonesia, and how you can contribute. All these things, they happen because you volunteer yourself. Have to take the initiative, and to take the initiative now is much easier than before. You can see that this village, there's something happen in Jakarta, or in Kalimantan, or in Papua, and you think I can contribute there. Where there is will, there is way, let's say.
Nice, really, really nice. I want to quote that. It's taking the initiative is easier now than before. I think that's a quote that I really interested in. So for next, Pak Luki, maybe you wanna let's hear from your comments about the questions.
Yes, Mas Ulil. So I always relate my answer with the current professional work I'm doing. So in Aflatun International, we have the digital learning department. Even before before the pandemic, we already have this department, because we already foresee for the next 10 years the children and young people, they will be more convenient learning something digitally rather than and during the pandemic, it's just like a confirmation. Now our department already created many different program in order to deliver our content. The content is social and financial education digitally to our beneficiaries. And talking about Indonesia, our current ongoing project in West Kalimantan, West Sulawesi, and East Nusa Tenggara, we already integrated the online education learning platform into this project. Even we deliver the content through WhatsApp message. So we are very, very familiar with WhatsApp message. Our teenagers, adolescents, students also very, very familiar with WhatsApp. Why not we use the content of our learning into this WhatsApp message, and based on a quick evaluation coming from the field, it was like a super effective for our adolescent, because the target group of our ongoing project in West Kalimantan, starting from 15 years old until 19 years old, they are very, very happy having this content delivery through WhatsApp. So WhatsApp method is, we called it mid-level technology. We have another one, low tech technology, just like text message, short message, SMS, right? Short message service. And the high tech technology, we usually we develop the quite robust content using the digital technology, using the digital platform. But then we for that kind of high tech technology using digital platform, we targeting young people in the urban context, those who have facilities, those who have like a very good internet connection, having laptop in their classroom, having like some infrastructures, good infrastructure to have this kind of model. So yeah, so that's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Pak Luki. I think it's adjusting our strategies, to accelerate more impactful, I'd say, project or program like Aflatun did in Indonesia. I think it's clearly that's best practice that we can do in the current society era. And next, Pak Rifo, what do you think about the next the second questions?
Yeah,
Please.
thank you, Ulil. So, digital society, yeah, it's a nice topic. Yeah? As we know, basically, the system is maybe it's not really famous in the around 5 years ago, but during the COVID time or Corona, it's accelerate the digital transformation in a rapid phase, like a high tech company in that time it's not really focused on, but now it's becoming accelerate. So from taking classes online, as mentioned by Sinar here at home, so it can also make it close of the education. I can remember that's also it's reducing number of business trips. For example, in the past years, people just only for a meeting with the customer or with their colleague, they need to fly. Then by reducing number of business trip here, it's also reducing carbon footprints. So the CO2 emission also reducing here. So a lot of change has been done by having the digital here. For example, also having a robot as a colleague or hitting the road in the self-driving car, for example. Yeah, digitalization is changing the way we live, work, or learn. But it also affects the societal issues such as social inequality or safety. So speaking of NL alumni, basically in Europe or Netherlands, there are two basic digital society relies on. So the first one is inclusiveness. So everyone must be able to participate. I can imagine in Netherlands everybody is connected to in the internet, but I'm not sure if it's Indonesia. If it's only, is it the majority of the population can get all this inclusiveness of the digital society, or is only some of people getting there? The second topic is about the privacy or data security here. In European, it's really important to have it. This is becoming highest focus agenda. So maybe you already know the GDPR, so General Data Protection and Regulation. So this is how we ensure that the data, how we or others use the data in the responsibility way. So this kind of things, if we would like to have an NL alumni can contribute, let's focus in these two basic standard. So first, inclusiveness, and then how to make sure that our privacy also safely guard. I think that's my answer, William.
Yeah, true, Paripo. I think just like digital transformation is like two sides of coin. Yeah, they have a dark side and a positive side. I think it's also it's bring a positive impact, accelerating development, but also we need to be more inclusive. And then secondly, it's about data security management and policy needs to be strengthened in this accelerating impact of digital society. Great. Thank you for answering these second questions, and let's move to the third questions. So this is the last question for our session. All of the speakers have experience studying in the Netherlands, so you are all Netherlands alumni, and then you studied in the world-best university in its areas, ISS, TU Delft, TU Eindhoven. But between SDGs and its relation to your current professional work or any actions that you're focusing on, how has your experience studying in the Netherlands affected your professional works or goals? And how do you relate it to SDGs? And I'm also wondering what are the potential ways of promoting SDGs for both countries, Indonesia and the Netherlands, from your point of view as a Netherlands alumni. Maybe first Pak Rifo deh.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Lil. Indeed, study experience in the Netherlands, for example, my experience in TU Eindhoven also played in a big role in shaping how I grew today at works. I learned about adaptability experience from a new place, having a new friends, a new culture. Uh, Basically, for example, I can give you one of example. The on-time culture here in the Netherlands, it's quite really important here. So I remember that if you're having a meeting, for example, that you need to be as early as 5 minutes before the meeting started. So it's really quite different culture. By learning a new culture, adaptability, making a new friends around the world, and then gain global perspective from others. I think as an human being, you always learning, you always having a new experience that also will give you a better shape here in order to collaborate or having an in your work, for example, or maybe if you are working in the education, that you can also learn from the other culture or other education system, that there is something that is not only happening in the Netherlands only or happening in the Indonesia, but it's happening around the world. So the study experience is basically my conclusion is shaping me the way how I'm working today, the way how the way how I'm thinking now. For example, also for example, I can give you a clear example is during my bachelor study in Indonesia, I always thinking that I would like to strive of the results. So I need to have it like, for example, the IPK of above 3.5 of A plus in the some subject. But here when I learned here in the university here, the result is important, of course, because that's also determine how good you are. But at the end, they need to know also how the process to achieve that results. You need to learn from not only the good way or the wrong way, but you need to learn how is the process. The process is really important. So not only the results, of course, the answer can be correct or can be wrong, but if you learn from the process, you learn what is the reason why you are doing that, what is the objective you are doing that, and then how you would like to formulate the way how you would like to achieve your results. I think that's kind of experience that I get from the TU Eindhoven. That's really helping me now in working at TNO at nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. I think I can see I can reflect what you experience in the TNO, like adaptability and then collaboration mindsets, and then learning more process oriented. I think, and that's all kind of impact brings you to make, like, created a hub, and then what you're working on in TNO right now. I think next maybe Pak Luki, how do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been here I've been in the Netherlands for 8 years. So I joined ISS in 2014. So during these 8 years, I learned a lot. Uh, and slowly you become locals, right? Uh, becoming and living in this very very specific Netherlands society, you you learn a lot in terms of many things, yeah, especially uh, the planning. The planning is really really important here. Already mentioned by Rifo that you cannot coming late to any different organization, any different meetings. Yeah, um, that's affected a lot on your professionalism, definitely. And working as senior program manager in this organization, I manage like 15 countries. I learned a lot also during the process. Those kind of learning that I can contribute to Indonesia, those kind of learning that I can copy and replicate in Indonesia. That's also one of the additional point if you work as an alumni NL working in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, managing your portfolio in many different countries in Asia. You can take a lot of learning from different countries and contribute to Indonesia as your home country. And during these 8 years, one of the best part of learning individually, I learned a lot in terms of being a two seasons country. You're born in Indonesia with 2 seasons, right? Summer and rain. And then working as a professional in 4 different seasons in Europe. You have winter and you have 3 different seasons, especially the winter one. This is the best example for me to understand that living in a winter type of season, it will bring you a winter type attitude. Winter type attitude is totally different with summer type attitude, right? The summer type attitude, for instance, in Indonesia, you can come to the beach, find fish 12 months in a year. In a winter type attitude, you cannot do that. You cannot work. This is like back to the 100 years before. You cannot work in the winter type season, right? You need to have a very detailed plan in order to have a good stock in your home. Otherwise, you dead. Your family will dead because you cannot like do anything during winter. At winter, you just stay at home, consume all the stock you have. It's totally different, right? With us in the tropical countries with the summer type of attitude, where you can come to the beach, come to the paddy field 12 hours. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. So this kind of attitude makes you different in terms of planning something. You need to have a strict planning, otherwise you're dead. And it's been like 1,000 years happen in this continent, in Europe. So this kind of a winter type attitude is really appreciated. But then how to combine? We have, as an Indonesian, of course, you have an additional attitude, which is hospitality. This kind of hospitality cannot be found here in Netherlands. For those alumni who already travel Europe, go to hotel, find a hospitality of those hotel staff compared with the Indonesian hotel staff, right? You can find it differently, totally different, very obvious. The Indonesian hospitality versus the European type hospitality is totally different. Why? Because Indonesian or tropical countries people, they're already like become a social hospitality, already part of their DNA. Because you live in a societal community where you can meet your neighbors 24 hours a day. We are a summer type of a country. So since you're born, you already become a nice person, right? As hospital person, become nice to talk with anybody. But here in Netherlands or Europe, it's not happen. So combining the hospitality and discipline type of like a winter attitude is like a perfect combination, especially for those who want to start any kind of business.
Yeah. Okay. So it's I think nice. Nice experience. First, connections. So you, Pak Luki, you mentioned you improve more connection, and the second, environment shapes the way you work. So, of course, different in Indonesia and also the Netherlands with 4 seasons. That's interesting, Pak Luki, and thank you. Last, Bu Sinar. So, what do you think about your experience studying in the Netherlands?
Yeah, so thank you, Lil. Rifo and Pak Luki already mentioned quite a lot. That's nice to to highlight all the differences and how it enrich ourselves. I agree to that. We are enriched as person, coming from a different background in Indonesia and now in the Netherlands experience totally different things, and now we adapt and it enrich us. One maybe additional thing that I can say about how the NL education different is than Indonesia, it gives more emphasis on your experience, on your practical experience. We, yeah, at least when I was studying in Indonesia, that was not that much emphasized. You could look for it in if you are studying in the university, you look for it yourself when you do the association, so like extracurricular, like professionalism inside your faculty, but then outside your curriculum. But here you can find it integrated in your own study. So here students are demanded to be more down to earth, because you are not only knowing all these formulas and nice things and concepts, but you also know how to implement that in reality. And that also enriches me. And I think that's also something we can think about, how to, as educator in Indonesia, probably it is an input to, how to integrate that as well in the aspect of education.
Yeah, I think that's really important, that we need to like closing the gap between the concept of theory in the classroom and the application in the real life. And I think, yeah, I agree that the Netherlands education system also doing that, and our Indonesian education system, I think it's starting to run, to do the same. I think with the newest curriculum, I think connecting industrial and then connecting many stakeholders, institution to the university or schools. I think very interesting conversation with Pak Luki, Businar, and Pak Rifo. Let's move to the questions. So we have some questions here from Mutia, from Fillmore. I think the question from Mutia, it has answered already about the best memories and experience, I think. And then, there is a question from Fillmore, Fillmore Murillo. Yeah, what do you think? Think are the possible initiatives that must be undertaken to bridge the digital gap, which was magnified by pandemic? So we'll be answering this.
Can you repeat again, Masulil?
The question is, what do you think are the possible initiatives that must be undertaken to bridge the digital gap, which was magnified by the pandemic? So maybe it's more on the gap, that pandemic created, digital gap, and what kind of initiative that can we do to closing the gap on to resolve the inequalities because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay, so let me try to answer first. Our office already aware about this possible gap. One of the articles said that the pandemic even bring a bigger gap between the rich and the poor, right? Because then only the rich able to access all the information, because they have all the facility, the infrastructures, internet, everything. But then how about the people in the remote areas, right? They just left behind, and it's become like very, very difficult. For my context in Asia, because we have working also in different countries, this is the one that we can offer. The gap is closer with local initiative, actually. So the local initiative helped a lot. So using the bottom-up approach is the best model to find solution, right? The local government in Indonesia, they need to reach out to more local initiative, local innovation, local local programs, innovative way, rather than just to stay from the problem. No, I think coming from different countries in different regions in our network, we learned that local initiative, the bottom-up approach, is the best way to answer this question. So there is no one fit for all answer to this issue, right? Otherwise, but in the same time, we also following the global development regarding the possibility to have one internet coverage for the whole world, right? That currently led by Starlink, SpaceX, right? So this is also a possibility. Do the partnership. What is that? The public-private partnership, because currently this private organization also already offered some collaboration with many different countries in Africa. There is a very low accessibility in Africa, and with this technology, they can help to access the whole part of the country in Africa, for instance, in Ethiopia. The same also can be happen in Indonesia, but then it's also related to the budget. So my proposal is to approach with the bottom-up approach in Philippines. One of our local partners bring all the manuals from the city with the local local initiative from village. They bring all the materials of the education materials from city to the urban by motorcycle, for instance. They bring all the materials, and then they help the local community to be aligned with the national education program that happened after the pandemic.
Okay. Anyone wants to answer?
Can I add to that?
Yeah. Musina, please. Shortly.
Yeah. Excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Shortly. Oh yeah, you said shortly. Yeah, very short. I'm not involved in what happened in Indonesia, but I can tell about what happened in the Netherlands. Because of the pandemic, there is also digital gap. Well, I don't call it digital gap, but a gap, because children, secondary school children, they cannot go to school, and the one that are not very high in the level of thinking, they get also this gap of knowledge. And of course, then because you can't go to school, you can't learn, and then you go even lagging behind with your friends, which is more advanced. So what we do in the Netherlands, we have also associations or stichtings that take care of this, because they are looking for all these children, and they actually connect them to people, professionals like me or some other people who wants to spend some time to teach them. Of course, here in the Netherlands, you have internet, but also in Indonesia, you also have internet. Probably you have to look for a way to teach the children like this. And this is just an example of how initiatives from the locals can help in the education.
Yeah. Thank you, Businar. I think we run out of time. So before we close, so please prepare one very short concluding remark or takeaway message. But while I'm announcing one announcement from Netherlands Alumni Engagement Challenge. So I'd like to announce before we move to the conclusion, sir. And I will announce you the winner of Netherlands Alumni Engagement Challenge in 2022. There are 3 winners in this year with amazing project with different topics. So the winners are, congratulations to Suhadi Khalil, alumnus Radboud University Nijmegen, with project Participatory Action Research Training of Trainers. Second winner is Ria Oktorina, alumni Erasmus University Rotterdam, with project Hybrid Seminar and Launching of Netherlands Alumni Association in West Sumatra. And the third winner is Ferry Haris from INP Indonesia, alumnus of University of Twente, with project Webinar and Training Data Production for Indonesia's digital transformation. Again, congratulations and feel success for your project. I believe it will bring valuable impact for many people. Please give applause for our winners. So let's back to the conclusion, and let's hearing the concluding remark and take away a message from our panelists today. Maybe first from Pak Luki.
Yeah, I think in short, as the alumni of NL who work in Netherlands, we are very happy that we still contribute to the partnership, right? The partnership between the two countries, Netherlands and Indonesia, to contribute to the SDG achievement in Indonesia. As already mentioned earlier, Aflatun International directly contribute to SDG number 1, number 4, and number 5. So we are looking forward to continue our partnership together with the Ministry of Education, Central Bank, and OJK in Indonesia, and any different partners who want to together contributing to the SDG achievement number 1, 4, 5 with us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Luki. Next, Pak Rifo.
Yeah, thank you, Ulil, for having me today in this conference. Basically, yeah, my takeaway of today is not only about NL alumni, but it's everybody who are studying abroad or who are also studying in Indonesia. So basically, you need to be beneficial also for your countries, not only from the educational perspective, it's not only from the work expertise, but at the end, so as a human being, you need to create a platform for yourself to be useful or beneficial for other people. So start from you. So for example, just thinking about what is really close to you, create some impact that you would like to create together with your friend, your colleague. For at the end, the goal is to make sure Indonesia becoming also in the reputable countries, also among the other highest country like in Europe. I think that's my takeaway.
Thank you, Pak Rifo.
Thank you.
Last, Ibu Sinar. Please.
Yes, thank you, Ulil, for this wonderful talk. So, what I can say, NL alumni could not live just in silo and himself, but need to reach out to the society, look at opportunities to be socially active. Many works related to SDGs are usually open to volunteer. Then please do so. That's my takeaway.
Yeah. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you very much for all of the speaker for inspiring, discussion today. So yeah, personally, we need to take advantage, connect to others, collaborate, and enrich our strategies. Yeah, because we don't know what happened next. So, but I hope we can discuss personally or maybe meet in person soon. So, okay, thank you very much. I would like to thank our amazing panelists today, Pak Luki, Ibu Sinar, Pak Rifo, for your time and your knowledge sharing. And thank you for the winner organizer for creating this session. And thank you for the supporting people behind this great event. And thank you for all participants. Thank you well. And see you in the next event. Selamat sore. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Bye.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Thank you,
Pak
Mas
Luki,
Ulil.
Pak Rifo.